Most people call cash dead money. They say it is just a pile that sits in an account, doing nothing. They think of it as money that inflation slowly melts away a little more each day. There is some truth in that idea, but it is an incomplete view, because cash carries a hidden power that most people never notice. Think of Warren Buffett, one of the richest investors in the world. He always keeps billions of dollars in cash in his reserves. He does not do this because he cannot find anything to invest in. He does it because he is waiting for the right moment. And today, I am going to tell you the story of that right moment. Most people think of cash only as emergency money. Money set aside in case the car breaks down or an unexpected bill arrives. Of course, cash does this too. That is one of its jobs. But the real power of cash does not begin here, it ends here. Let me tell you something from my own life, my good friend. Years ago, when the workshop I founded with my partner went under, I was left in debt. In those days, I did not have a single coin of cash in my hand. And I had to watch, one by one, every opportunity that life offered me. Because there was nothing I could do other than watch. A person who has lived through that pain never forgets what cash truly means. Years later, I set a small rule for myself. I would always keep an amount of cash that let me act. And that decision changed my life completely. Now I am going to show you, one by one, the 4 real powers of cash. The first power is being ready at the moment of opportunity. Markets sometimes crash downward together with panic. There come days when everyone is afraid and everyone is selling. On exactly those days, valuable assets are sold for half their price. But most people can do nothing on that day because they have no cash in hand to buy with. Opportunity knocks at the door, but they have no money to open it. The person holding cash, however, takes action at exactly that moment. While everyone runs away in fear, he calmly goes shopping. In the markets, this is called dry powder. In other words, ready ammunition waiting for the moment to fire. Cash is like an opportunity ticket that never expires. You can use it any day you want, for any opportunity you want. It is powerful to be able to buy a gram of gold when it gets cheaper. It is powerful to be able to buy a house when it is sold below its value. And only cash gives you this power. The second power is never being a forced seller. This is a subject that is rarely talked about but is very important. Imagine that all of your money is inside your investments. Suddenly a big need for cash arises. Because you have no money waiting on hand, you are forced to sell your investment. And most of the time you are forced to sell on the worst day. In other words, you exit at a loss at the very moment value has dropped the most. This is a trap that quietly makes a person poor. But cash waiting on the side gives you the power to be patient. You are not forced to sell your investment at its bottom. You calmly wait until the storm passes. Cash is a shield that protects you from hasty decisions. The third power is power at the negotiating table. A person whose hand is full of cash always negotiates more strongly. Imagine you go to buy a car. When you say you will pay in full, the seller's eyes light up and he offers you a serious discount. The same applies to a house as well. The cash buyer is the most valuable buyer for the seller because cash removes uncertainty. People run away from uncertainty and they pay money for certainty. Cash is that certainty itself. That is why cash always buys for less. You buy the same item at a better price than everyone else. Over the years, this difference turns into a small fortune. The fourth power is perhaps the most valuable. This power is being able to sleep peacefully at night. The cash waiting in your account gives peace to your mind. No matter what happens tomorrow, you know that you are ready. Even if you lose your job, you can breathe for several months. This peace makes you take far better decisions. Because a person in fear can never make the right decision. A person who runs out of money panics and makes wrong choices in a hurry. But a person who has cash stays cool-headed, and being cool-headed is the greatest advantage in investing. Money is not only a means of shopping, money is at the same time a mental freedom. And the name of this freedom is the cash waiting on the side. Now perhaps you are asking this, dear viewer, but doesn't inflation eat this money? That is a very fair question, so let us speak honestly. Yes, waiting cash loses value against inflation. There is no denying it. This is a real cost. But there is a very important point being overlooked here. The cost of missing an opportunity is far greater. Just imagine, the opportunity of your life came right in front of you, but you had no money in your pocket to seize that opportunity. That loss is many times more than what inflation eats. So a little loss of value is the price of being ready, just like a firefighter who is always waiting ready. Even though there is not a fire every day, the firefighter does not sit idle. He waits ready, because when the moment comes, being late is deadly. Your cash is exactly like this too. It is the first one to run when the fire of opportunity breaks out. So how much cash should we keep? There is a golden balance here, my good friend. Keeping too little cash leaves you defenseless. If you have no cash at all, you become a forced seller in every crisis. But keeping too much cash is not right either. If you let all your money sit idle, then it really does lose value. That is why you have to divide your money wisely. One part grows and works in investments. The other part becomes your opportunity fund. waiting and ready. You do not have to keep this fund in an empty account. You can keep it in places that protect its value and convert quickly. For example, a gram of gold both protects value and turns into cash quickly. For example, a foreign currency account also does this job to a certain extent. What matters is being able to reach it instantly when you need it, because money you cannot reach means no money at all at the moment of opportunity. An opportunity fund is your silent hero. On the surface, it waits on the side doing nothing, but when the right moment comes, it changes the whole game. The secret of the rich is very often exactly this. They always keep their dry powder ready to fire. The ordinary person, however, ties up every coin somewhere, and when opportunity comes, he only watches from a distance. After this video, do not be one of those spectators. Starting today, begin building a small opportunity fund. It does not matter at all that it is small at first. What matters is that you start that habit today. In time, that small fund becomes your strongest card. Remember, being rich is not only about earning a lot. Being rich is about being able to be ready at the right moment. And the only way to be ready is the power waiting on the side. Cash is not the lazy money you think it is. It is a silent soldier patiently waiting for its turn. While everyone looks down on it, it steps onto the stage at the most critical moment. Let me sum up what you learned today in one sentence. Cash is not dead money, it is sleeping opportunity. Whoever uses it correctly can change his life in an instant. I lived through this myself in my own life. That is why I am telling you sincerely as a friend, always keep on the side a power that lets you act. Because opportunity comes without warning, and it only rewards the one who is ready. If this video gave you a new perspective, do not forget to like it. To not miss this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, and send this video to a friend you do not want to see miss an opportunity. Take good care of yourself and manage your money wisely. And before I go, I want to leave you with one last thing, my friend. Because when this video ends, life will continue from where it left off. Tomorrow you will go to work, pay your bills, and keep on rushing. And most likely, you will slowly forget everything we talked about today. And this is exactly what I do not want to happen. So I am going to tell you something very simple. Being rich is not a stroke of luck that bursts overnight. Being rich is the sum of small decisions made quietly. That first small amount you set aside today is exactly that decision. Maybe this week you can only set aside a few coins. Maybe you will not feel like it at all and will want to spend the money elsewhere. But remember that small fund is your silent soldier. It is that power waiting on the side, seemingly doing nothing. One day, when life opens an unexpected door for you, you will remember it. While everyone waits helplessly in front of that door, you will hold the key in your hand. In that moment, you will receive the reward of the decision you made today. I lived through this myself. Years ago in my own life, I also lived the pain of watching opportunities from afar with not a single coin in my hand. And I saw what the power waiting on the side gives to a person. And I tell you sincerely, the difference between the two is an entire life. So think of this video not as a lesson, but as a reminder that you should manage your money, not that money should manage you. A reminder to live with preparation, not with fear, because no decision made in fear ever carries a person forward. But one small decision made with a calm mind changes everything. Never let this slip from your mind, dear viewer. Cash is not lazy money. It is a sleeping opportunity, and the only one who can awaken that opportunity is you. Starting today, begin to keep that power on the side, however small it may be. Do not rush, do not push yourself, but never give up. Because this journey is walked not with great strides, but with patience. And the patient person always wins in the end. I trust you because you watched this video all the way to the end. Even that shows that you are ready to change. The rest is now entirely in your hands, my good friend.